I don't know many actors who aren't frustrated with some parts of their career. I think if you finally feel satisfied, you're kind of thrown in the towel a little bit.
Hmm.
I think we all have some of those elements of like, why can't they recognize how dope I am?
Everybody, how you doing? Korey here. Middle of the day. You know, I'm gonna get up in the middle of the day and do this for somebody who's very special, and that's what we have here today. It's been a good week for talking to people. Been talking to people that I admire, have seen for a long time, people I thought I'd never be able to talk to, who I really enjoy, and that is what we have here today. Everybody, please welcome Mr. Cedric Yarbrough. How you
Yes,
doing?
yes, yes.
I have a great production assistant, man, because they came in, corrected me. I was about to throw down that Cedric very hard. You know, I had to let me know it's Cedric.
Korey, do you have a black mom?
I sure did. High yellow, but black.
Yeah, yes, yes. Mine as well, high as well. But you know how they do. They like to make you more special than anything. So that's that's what's up with my name. My name is spelled like Cedric, but pronounced Cedric. So thank you, Korey. Thank you for that introduction and very cool animation. As someone who loves cartoons and animation, I like the toast. The dancing toast is nice.
I
Nice
appreciate
touch.
that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's coming. You do a lot of cartoon voices, if I'm correct, right?
I do, and I'm ready. I'm ready when that voice when you need a voice for that toast. Uh, call me up, Korey. If you need a toast that sings,
uh,
I'm down.
well, I'm gonna have to work on getting that Cedric money first, you know, to get that toast talking. So whenever those toasty checks come in, man, and we do this toast cartoon or make that
Yeah,
big feature of it, you'll be the first one I'll call, man.
this is true. I am very wealthy. This is true. So.
Uh, you know, one of the reasons why we're here today. What are you laughing about?
I'm joking about the wealthy. I that you just let that go. You're just like, yeah, yeah. He's
Oh,
no, I'm not.
I'm so
I'm
sorry.
joking.
I did not mean to do that. I don't know why. It's probably just a tad bit of a delay. Maybe that's why I missed it. I'm so sorry. If you want to do it again, I'm more than willing. he's
Nope.
he's like it was a one-time thing. Once you miss it, it's done. I
It wouldn't
blew
work.
it.
It wouldn't. That's all
Um,
right. Cool.
One of the reasons why we're here today is to talk about the latest project that you're in, which is called Lucky Hank, which it seems like this is getting a lot of attention. I actually saw the first episode in a theater, so I know a lot of people are actually, you know, looking forward to this. They're pushing this. Um, how would you describe the show?
Yes. Well, Lucky Hank is about English professor Hank Devereaux Jr., played by Bob Odenkirk, and he is experiencing a middle life crisis. He is an author, writer, but also an English professor at this Pennsylvania college that is kind of struggling with finances, and most colleges are. And so we find ourselves in this particular school with this particular gentleman who's been dealing with feelings of inadequacy, of have I done enough with my life? Have I done enough with my career? Looming over him is Hank Devereaux Sr., his father, who is a very accomplished writer. And Hank, or Bob's character, has written one novel that was many, many years ago. It's not even in available at his college because he's embarrassed about it, you know, and he hasn't gotten back to writing it. And so we find ourselves um, in the middle of this, where Hank is one of these types of individuals who's a curmudgeon. He's grumpy. He's unsatisfied with himself, and he's married with a lovely wife, Lily, who's played by the amazing Mireille Enos, who is also finding herself in a kind of a crisis herself. She is always been supportive of the family, always been supportive of Hank. And now she finds herself also thinking, maybe I need to start thinking about my own happiness and not just the family's. Am I satisfied in my career as being a principal of this high school? And so that first pilot episode is what we see ourselves in. I play Paul Rourke, one of the English professors at the school of Railton College. I also find myself as a rival to Hank. He is a chair of our English department, and I don't think he's very good at his job. That's also the great thing about this show is that these guys have known each other for quite a long time, over 15 years, 10, 15 years. And so a lot of the professors are tenured. They can't really be fired. And so they tell each other how they really think that, I don't think you're a very good teacher, or the book that you created is mush. I don't think you're very good. So that's what we have, that dynamic, and it's pretty great to have these characters really, really be honest with each other and just say how they feel. I've realized playing this English professor that if you are tenured, you're a little bit in this middle ground where you can't really be fired, but you got no other place to go. You've kind of reached your ceiling a little bit. So you're in limbo. And so you fight over really small things like who gets to introduce the guest speaker and who was drinking out of my coffee mug. Things like that will really tick you off in this little group. And so it's been really, really fun. One of my more fun things and more challenging things to do as an actor was playing this role. And I'm excited for people to see a different side of what I can do.
See, I'm glad you said challenging and different, because I have a very specific question that I actually prepared ahead of time to ask you about that. Would you mind if I showed people just a little bit of the trailer for the show?
Oh, please do. Please do.
Lucky Hank, this is going to be on AMC. As I said, I saw the first episode. Very interesting things you're talking about with tenure and being a professor, but we'll touch on that in a little bit too. But here's a little peek at the trailer here. Oh, let me turn that, because I had you talking. Let me turn it up a little bit so people can actually hear.
They twisted my words. That's pretty much verbatim.
How did you get like this? Rude stuff, just ugh.
I'm concerned that I might say something really consistent with my personality,
Oh my God.
but inconsistent with a modern college campus.
You lazy son of a...
That's valid.
When you say that this is a little bit different for you, because I've gone through and looked at your IMDb, because I love looking at IMDb pages for actors who have done a lot. You've done a lot. You're one of those guys who is constantly working. You're very fortunate that way. That IMDb page is long, man, long. Look at that. He's just cascading down. You stay working, but I would talk about that a little bit. But when you talk about your work here on Lucky Hank, one of the things that, and I don't want to be one of those guys who just kind of labels you as just a comedic actor, but you have done a lot of comedic roles. When I look at this role right here, where you play a tenured professor, it's still a comedic role, but it has more of an academic angle to it. And I wonder if because of that this is a different role for you.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I came up as a dramatic actor, doing a lot of theater, Shakespeare, a lot of straight plays. And, when you're in Hollywood, you try to get your foot in the door. So before I moved out here, I learned as much as I possibly could. I was heavily into musical theater, heavily into sketch and improv, uh, dancing, comedy, drama. I try to do as much as I could. And when I talk to younger actors, I tell them, learn as much as you can about this business. That way you'll be employed. Maybe you'll also have a IMDb resume, working. And that's the goal. The goal is always just to work and be grateful for the work that you get. Now, this turn, I've been able to book this job where, yes, I get to use a lot of my comedy muscles, but finally I get to do some of my drama too. And a lot of people wonder how comedic actors can transition into drama so well. A lot of us have. And I think a lot of us have because life is dramatic and it takes something of you to make something comedic. And so drama is life, and being able to fall into that is a lot easier than to bring something comedic. I wish the Oscars would actually acknowledge comedy because it's way harder than drama. Although drama is difficult, but comedy is very hard. And so with this show, I'm able to flex a little bit of that drama, and I'm excited for people to see it.
Yeah, looking at this show, I have to say, and I feel, I'm just being completely honest. It just felt like I was seeing a different side of you than I've seen before. Which, and everybody says what you're saying, man. Everybody talks about how, it's so easier for the most part, not all the time, but easier for a comedic actor to transition into drama than the other way around. But looking at you in this role here, I was like, this seems a little different for him. So have you done any drama before this role here, or any role?
Yes, I did a lot studying as a younger actor, studying theater and acting. I did a lot of dramatic roles, but like I said, when you out here into Hollywood, you got to get in where you fit in sometimes, and a door was opened for me with Reno, and a lot of the with Black Dynamite, with the Boondocks, BoJack Horseman. A lot of doors were open for me through that way, and so you step in and you say, "Damn right, I can do some comedy. let me come up with some stuff. Let me try this out." And speaking of comedy, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about some of my co-stars that are on the show that you've seen in the trailer. Oscar Nunez, brilliant actor, who we've had on Reno, an amazing improviser. But you know him from The Office. We have Mireille Enos, as I said before, who plays Lily. Suzanne Cryer. We have the Diedrich Bader, other brilliant actor who you've seen in a bunch of things. Olivia Scott Welsh, Sarah Amini. We got Kyle MacLachlan that's coming in. We got some other great guest stars that are absolutely amazing, and it's a testament to what this script was. A lot of us got a chance to read that pilot and thought it was one of the smartest things that we'd seen in a minute. And so we were really vying to be in that world, and also to frankly, to play with Bob Odenkirk. Bob is one of our shiniest, our brightest, one of our beacons in acting, where a guy who's come from comedy, and he's come from everything, with writing on SNL, with his comedic timing and writing on Mr. Show. And he is one of those comedic minds that has been able to transition into drama. And, working with him was, man, don't get any better. Because that dude he strives for each scene to be better, and for your number one on the call sheet to be that way. That's what you want. You want your guy up there to really want to make this scene or this show the very, very best that we can. And that's what I found was working with him and everyone else on that show.
He really is incredible, man. I mean, we talk about not just coming from comedy, we're talking about coming from absurdist comedy. You know, I used to watch Mr. Show. I love Mr. Show. Tim and Eric. You know, I mean, he came from some like weird comedy to
really,
yeah.
yes, really weird shit. And, and the thing is, he's still that. You know, he's still nuts. He's still crazy. But he's also really measured and really smart, and just one of those guys that when you get a chance to work with, you relish that mind, because he's really good that way, and that kind of thing as an actor. And I've told this to a lot of young actors: when you can find your tribe, when you can find those people that are like-minded, you hold on to them, and it only makes you better. It helps your game. And I found that in this show. I am so excited for people to see episode 5. I hope you hang on and watch the show. It's only 8 episodes, but man, episode 5 is so fun and juicy. It felt like going back to theater school. It was like 15 pages of all of us all in one room right there, that dinner scene right there. That's the scene where I'm excited for people to really see.
Yeah, you know, I like I said, people, I saw this at the theater when they did a premiere for it, and definitely want to stick with it. So I think people will. You know, I have to ask you. And this kind of a, I don't know. This might be a little bit of a personal question, but because I'm very sure that you're humble and you're grateful for what you have. You know, I'm sure you feel blessed and all that. You know, whatever words people use, but and you're a very talented person. So, do you, even though you might be very grateful for what you have, do you feel a frustration with the business that is not letting you do something outside of comedy more?
Oh, well, that's a very good question. And I don't know many actors who aren't frustrated with some parts of their career. I think if you finally feel satisfied, you're kind of thrown in the towel a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all have some of those elements of like, why can't they recognize how dope I am? You know, how come they don't see how amazing I can be? You know, that kind of thing. But that is short-lived, especially, well, you know, coming from my side. I've been fortunate, man. I really am grateful, because no one has to say yes to you. This stuff isn't promised at all. No one wins Hollywood. You know, no one just comes in and is like, yes, I beat Hollywood. We're all vying for what we can get. And so, knowing that, I've always wanted to be a working actor. And if I get an opportunity, I want to give people something different, something of myself, something that's very genuine to me. If you've seen Black Dynamite, I'm not in that movie very long, but I wanted to make sure that y'all know, Chocolate Giddy Up is he had something to say. No, he had something to say. To me, those movies were always so funny because everyone was so brave to the lead, to the guy who's, we know kicks butt. Black Dynamite has a history of kicking everyone's. Oh, come on, Michael Jai White, the brilliant Michael Jai White, who wrote that script. and came up with that concept. Um, he also recognized in me, you know what, I'm gonna just let this guy go because a lot of my stuff was just improvised. And so that pimp council meeting is so fun to do because we were all there together, and Michael let us fly, let us go. And so something like that, whenever I'm in a project, I want to make sure people know, I like that Cedric, whatever his name is, that dude, I like that guy. And I'm going to be satisfied with whatever he makes for me. I'm going to enjoy. If the movie's terrible, if the TV show, the project is bad, okay. But Cedric's gonna be nice in it. So I always try to make sure that I have a clear-cut point of view. And with Chocolate Giddy Up in particular, he was afraid of Black Dynamite and didn't care to not show it. Everybody can be brave. No, I don't want my ass kicked by Black Dynamite.
Can I, you know what, since we're talking about that, I love Black Dynamite. I was in love with the concept before I ever saw the movie. And you're right. You talk about being someone who's very talented. This is a guy who's known for kicking ass, man. And everybody thinks that a guy who's like going around and knows martial arts and kicks ass, that's all they got. They don't think of him as being able to write scripts and create concepts and whatnot. And he's brilliant. But you, sir, you had one of the standout lines in the movie. Now, you talk about coming in here for not very long. There's a lot of people who go around talking about, but Black Dynamite, I'll sell drugs to the community. Everybody says that. Can I show that clip real quick?
Sure, please.
I just got one thing to lay on you cats and then I'll split. That I am declaring war on anybody who sells drugs in our community.
But Black Dynamite, I sell drugs to the community.
The delivery on that one line right there was amazing, man. It really did stand out.
Well, it stands out because it's true. It's truthful. He's being extremely truthful in that moment where most people would, be brave and go, well, fuck you, Black Dynamite. I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. Not Chocolate Giddy Up. No, not in that pink outfit. Not in that pink cowboy hat. No, sir. I'm letting you know this is my livelihood, and you're telling me I can't do it, but that's what I do, And so it had everyone cracking up on set, and Michael could barely get through it, but he let me in that window and let me improvise, my truth in that, and that was the truth that came out of me.
Nice.
Yeah.
So switching from we've been talking about a lot of live action projects, but again, you've done a ton of voice work for animation. One of the things that you'll probably be most known for as far as voice work is not one of the family-friendly animated things that you've done, but, something a little bit edgier, the Boondocks, where you played Tom DuBois. You also played Colonel Stinkmeaner right here. You couldn't have two more different characters, man, with those two right there. Tom is what people would call, I don't know, Uncle Tom, a sellout, Oreo, or whatever. Stinkmeaner is a little more raw than that.
That's right. I'm back into your car, knucker.
How did you? I talked to Gary Anthony Williams, which you are standing next to right here. He does another very popular character, which is Uncle Ruckus. We talked about his, the whole thing with him coming up with the voice. They pretty much let him come up with that character. How was it for you coming up with those characters?
Gary Anthony Williams, one of the funniest people on the planet and in the universe. That particular character, when it came to Colonel H. Stinkmeaner, it was a character that they had already written, a really hateful character, and they already had someone in mind that they wanted to cast in it. I won't say who, but they already had someone in mind. And so we were doing the table read, and they just said, hey, Cedric, come up with something, if you don't mind, come up with a voice or something, and and read this role. And so, with that mentality of, you gonna give me something? Okay. You're not casting this person. I'm gonna kill this right here and book it. And that was my mentality. I came up with this voice really quickly. I just tried to think of something extremely cantankerous and just as nasty as I possibly could, yet funny. And then this came out. This motherfucker came out, and he just was birthed. And so part of my improvisational training and my ambition, that's what came out. And Aaron Magruder, Carl Jones, all those guys over there at the Boondocks loved the voice and loved what I was doing with it, and gave me the opportunity to do that. And then I think season 2 or 3, we were able to mesh Tom and Stinkmeaner together, and that was really fun. But again, preparation, meeting time, and the ambition, and then you get stuff like that.
It's really off-putting sometimes when you see the voice being done by the actor, and that's actually a compliment too, because it took me a while to realize that was actually you. I didn't know you were doing that voice for a while, and then when I finally realized it was you, it was like, wow, that's a whole completely person coming out of you. I never.
Well,
that's why it's kind of crazy watching you do the voice, because I can never see your face attached to that right there. You got such a kind face. That's what you get.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. I will give you the same compliment. Both of us with the kind, light-skinned faces that we have. Yes. Some of the light skin, we can hide the darker skin within the light skin, and so my darker skin came out.
Yeah, it came out hard, man.
But the thing is, that's the beauty of animation, and what I learned as a kid, growing up in Minneapolis, watching Saturday cartoons, watching Schoolhouse Rock. My guy who did the Conjunction Junction and I'm Just a Bill, Jack Sheldon, trumpet player, jazz musician, who had this kind of swagger, kind of hooking up words and phrases and clauses. He just was this real cool kind of guy who just kind of sang like this. And then I find out he's a white man. I'm like, well, there you are.
As the Bill.
The Funny or Die thing I did for them. But it opened up my imagination as a child. Like, wow, I can come up with voices, and that's what the beauty of animation and cartoons are, is that you can come up with things that people wouldn't even think are you, but you're able to create, and I can leap outside of just this shell and voice something that looks nothing like me and come up with something that people resonate with.
Were you going to be part of the reboot that never happened with the Boondocks? I talked to, again, Gary Anthony Williamson about that, and he was all aboard, and he said just one day they just couldn't finish some of the episodes, and it just stopped. So were you going to be on board for that too?
I was indeed, yes. We were all back. And then we had the unfortunate news of John Witherspoon's passing, but we were still in production, and then it fell apart. And those things happen with projects. Sometimes, even the best intentions of rebooting something or getting anything off the runway and into the air is extremely hard. And so that's why I am so grateful when it comes to projects like Lucky Hank that I'm able to be a part of and actually get on the air. and then for people to actually enjoy it and they feel something from it. That's why I can't get too boggled down with some things that don't work. I've had a career where a lot of things actually get on the air. I've had so many failures, so many things that didn't happen, and some things that actually get to come on. I can't help but cheese and be so happy that people actually get to see it.
Yeah, well, it's not hard to imagine that a person such as yourself can work so much. I mean, I think again, it doesn't speak for everybody, but the more talents that you have, the more chances you have of sustainability. And what I mean by that with you is, you just did a little while ago, and I was really glad you did that. Again, I love hearing people do voices and perform in front of me for the things I love seeing them do. One of the things that I really admire about you can sing. You got a voice on you. I know a lot of people have seen that. There was a show that you did on ABC, Speechless, and I'm gonna play it here. I love your version of Brandy.
Robert Mayos are the worst home in town. The art covers holes. You can't see the ground.
That's the Bill voice again, right there. Too.
Yeah. You could be like, okay, well, he's got one thing. I guess you can think one way. That's not even actually how I see. It was appropriate for that voice because I don't know that group, the guy I kind of had. There was this. I guess it was in the 70s. Y'all, they had this thing about this throat thing that they had. They all did. So, but thank you for that compliment. Yeah, it's something from when I came up training, learning as much as I possibly could. I did a lot of musicals growing up. I'm a big musical nerd fan. I love musicals and getting into a world where you're talking one time and then you come out and then you're singing, you're expressing it through music. I just think that's such a cool way of communicating a story through music. That's something that really resonates in me. And I should give out a little shout out with the shirt that I'm wearing. I'm doing it's a show called the Black Version Show that I do with Gary, that we do in Los Angeles. It's a live show at the Groundlings Theater. We get a movie title from the audience. We ask the audience to shout out a classic film like Titanic or Silence of the Lambs or 16 Candles, and then we improvise the black version of that movie. And we've been doing it for 10 years. There's Naima Funk and Danielle Gaither, Jordan Black, Karen Moriyama, Gary, of course, and the Phil Lamar. And we've been doing that show for quite a while. Originally, we had Keegan-Michael Key and Jordan Peele in the show, and they went off and did amazing things, and they're still doing amazing things. But this is part of what I've talked about before, finding your tribe, finding like-minded individuals. And I've been lucky to find that in that group. And they've made me a better actor. They've made me be able to book other things, because doing that show can be difficult. It's fun, but it's an improvised show. So you're coming up with, sorry, Lucky Hank people are texting me while I'm talking.
Oh, they're telling you to, I thought that was like the publicist telling you, get the hell out of here. Quit talking to that guy.
No, I can hang out. No, that Bob Odenkirk yelling about something about like, where the hose at? Is probably what he's saying. But no, he's a very happily married man. Anyway, but he wants to know where them hoes at, and and when Bob wants to know, you gotta. So hold on. I'm gonna tell him where they are, and okay, perfect.
Tell him I'm talking to one right now.
And so it's a show that asks you to come up with something right away. It's an improvised show, and so it's one of the best live shows in town. Great live music, brilliant improvisers, and it's black folk, and so and improv. So it's dangerous and hilarious, and it really, like I said before, it's made me a better actor, better listener for sure.
Hey, yeah, I got to ask you, what's the Groundlings Theater? Everybody has heard about that. Anybody who's follows a lot of actors and entertainment, a lot of people have come from the Groundlings. What's the capacity of that theater? I've always just wanted to know because I've never been.
I believe it's a 99-seat theater. It's not a very large theater, but we packed the place, and sometimes we gotta bring people sitting on top of each other. But it's a fun theater, and the history of it is amazing. We've got so many people from Saturday Night Live, Will Ferrell and Melissa McCarthy and Pee Wee Herman and most of the people from the black version, except for Gary and myself, aren't trained Groundlings people. But it's a theater with a rich history, and some really funny people have come out of it.
Yeah, I think that's why I asked. I think it's kind of cool that it has that kind of limited capacity. It keeps things a little more intimate. I think it's always cool to perform in front of a smaller audience sometimes.
It is, and you sharpen your tool. You sharpen what is funny. You find out from a live audience what you can get away with, what is working. Much like stand-ups, when you're doing a live show, you hear from the audience, what is working for you. And, as an actor or an improvising actor, that's it's paramount. That's crucial. And I bring that knowledge to my ear for when I'm shooting on camera.
Speaking of people you've worked with a lot, would you say that your character from Reno 911, Deputy Sven Jones, would you say that's one of your more popular characters? Because you've come back for several seasons, 2 feature
He was
films.
so young back then. I'm just looking at how youthful.
Oh, I know, man. Look at that.
Man.
But you still got that same face. You really have not changed that much. You got a little more hair. That's all on your face. That's it.
Yeah. But that dude was so full of dreams, man. Now I'm downtrodden. All those dreams have been burned.
Poor you, man. Poor you. Look at that ragged ass house you live in. Oh my God, man, you deserve so much better.
Definitely that is definitely one of my most people notable characters. I did that show so many years ago, and we've had reiterations of it, and getting back and doing that show on Roku and for Paramount Plus, and getting the gang back together again was absolutely amazing and fun. We've all gone on to do other projects and do other things, and coming back was like this super friends, Avengers coming back. All of us have these superpowers, and of these comedic super chops, and coming back and doing those shows again. They're on Roku and on Paramount Plus. Those shows are so much fun to do now, and they're great. And everyone is so much funnier than when we started in 2003. This year is when we celebrate our 20-year reunion. I'm hoping that we either do a show or we go to Reno or something that we all can do together and kind of celebrate it.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there like a family feel when you come back with these people because you've done it so long with them?
Yeah. And it's the NBA, it's like I don't know, like what we're just setting up people for alley oops now. People are dunked all over the place and hitting threes. And I know that I can set up Niecy Nash for a joke. I don't know exactly what she's going to say because it is improvised, but I know if I give her a look or set her up with something, she will dunk so damn hard on the scene, and vice versa. We all grew up together being extremely weird and no holds barred. We were fearless and still are. And being able to work with all those guys is, I'd love to work with them forever.
You talk about somebody that's gone on to, again, do dramatic work. Niecy Nash, that has been very impressive with her trajectory in her career, man.
She's something else, boy. She's gone on to do all kinds of things that I was not expecting. All kinds of things that I was not, and the world was not ready for. But she, I think a couple of years ago, she's said this in interviews that she wanted to reintroduce herself to her management team and told them, I don't think you know who I am, and I want to reintroduce myself. This is what I can do, and she's gone on to do some amazing work. And
yeah,
it would be nice, one of these days I married her on the Bernie Mac show. Oh my God, Bernie Mac, man.
Yeah.
Bernie Mac. She played his sister on his show, and I was someone who married her on it, and it was so much fun. But Bernie was, I think about him and his generosity. He was one of our shining stars. He was so funny, but also so giving. He didn't know me at all, but he was so generous with me and his time and letting me really play with him and play on the show and improvise and just go. He didn't have that fear at all of feeling small in his own show. He was like, this is my show. I want funny people to come in and do their thing. And that was so cool. So cool.
Yeah, no, I've had a friend of mine passed on, unfortunately. Bernie Mac was supposed to do a show, and at that time he had passed, and the show never happened. My friend also passed, but he said that same thing you're saying. Bernie Mac was such a generous soul, man. You hear the same thing from several people.
Yeah, just a light, an amazing light and you will never hear anything bad coming from anybody. A loving father, funny writer, present. He was quite sick while we were shooting, but man, he came to work ready and willing. So nice, so cool. I'm really sorry about this, the doinging here. I'm trying to figure out how to turn that off.
I don't even hear anything. And I only have one more question anyway, but I don't hear anything. I hear, everything's cool.
Okay, good.
Just the last thing right here, and I really appreciate your time, man. This has been a lot of fun talking to you. So, were you raised Jehovah's Witness?
Yeah. Oh boy, you saved the life.
Well, it's nothing bad. I'm just curious. It's nothing. He's like, man, we were having a good time, and then you come out with that.
Yeah, they're like, yo, hey man, I love what you do. By the way, so what happened with that religious shit? Let me know about that. Yes, I was raised Jehovah's Witness, and that was because it was a double-edged sword for me. Growing up black in Minnesota, that's one thing, and as of recent years, we know a lot of what that is and how that has played out. Being in Minneapolis and being in Minnesota, growing up there was difficult enough, but also being a Jehovah's Witness, where you're already kind of other is a whole other dynamic in itself. And so, yeah, I was raised Jehovah's Witness. I stepped out when I was in my teen years. I was like, this isn't making much sense. And so, yeah, so that's I was.
So, well, coming up, Jehovah Witness, and then having aspirations of, because I'm sure you at a very young age you had aspirations of being a performer, an actor. Did you have any kind of self conflict about being a performer and also being raised a Jehovah's Witness?
Yes, because the Jehovah's Witness faith, they frown upon working in the industry, musicians, television, film, that is looked on as worldly or a different kind of mentality or thinking. And so it was frowned upon. But as a child, I was hit really young when it came to television and film and what that medium does. It was just awakened my imagination, and it was something I felt I could do at a very young age. And so, yes, that was conflicting. Yeah, and I've worked that out and figured, that I feel like this is something that I am able to do, something I love to do, but it's something that was a talent that was given to me.
And what a talent it is, man. Glad didn't hold you back. This has been, again, very nice. I learned so much when I get to talk to people personally like this, and seeing the personal side is pretty amazing. Thank you for spending the time with me. And everybody, Lucky Hank is going to be, when is this premiere? Like I said, I started the theater, so I don't even know when it's premiering.
Well, it's already premiered. March 19th is when it came out. We're looking at the second episode coming up this Sunday, the 26th. And we have 8 episodes, in the can all ready for you. And again, we have some amazing, brilliant actors. I see Shannon DeVito. I should shout her out. She's amazing on the show as well. And some really great guest stars that are coming up. But I think, in a world where a lot of shows got dragons and guns and are working through some zombies, this show is very different. It's 50% comedy, 50% drama, and deals with real life issues. It deals with inadequacy, and I think that you don't have to have a midlife crisis to feel sometimes that you are feeling inadequate. A lot of us as adults feel like, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Am I fulfilling whatever it is that I'm supposed to even be here doing? And I think that's relatable, and I think people will find themselves in that.
No, and to your credit, what you're saying here, that's what a lot of people were actually saying when they came out and made them want to look forward to more episodes, is that this is not about dragons and fantasy and sci-fi and zombies and everything. No baby Yodas around here. Anything. That's what people were refreshed about with this. A lot of people they were very selective about who they invited to the screening, and I think they invited people who appreciated having some more mature type entertainment out there. Something that was grounded. So yeah, that's something that very much works to the show's credit.
Yeah, nothing wrong with dragons, and nothing wrong with guns, and there's tons wrong with guns, but particular entertainment that is there. But we also, I feel like there needs to also be a balance of choice and having adult television for people who really want to see adults work it out. And this is one of those shows that that provide that. If you like to laugh and you like to feel and you like to relate,
Okay.
Lucky Hank.
We'll close with this. I should, because we talked about what you aspire to do outside of comedy. Closing with this, if you could put it out there for anybody who is casting or doing a project, what would be the dream project that you would do next if it was available?
The dream project that I would love to do. I think we'll put this out there. For my love of cinema, film, music, I think the Bill Withers story is an interesting story. There's a gentleman who was a blue collar from the South and blew up, killed it, an amazing musician, and then he walked away. A lot of times people don't see that. You don't see musicians going, okay, I did my thing. I want to raise my kids. I want to be a family man now. He was, he was actually really, really brilliant, self-taught, self-made. Those stories are rare, and I think it's a really, really cool story to do.
So you'd like to play Bill Withers?
I think, we have a similar hue.
Yeah, you got a similar face. You do. You do. You could definitely pull this off, man. You could definitely pull this off. Yeah, that's why I like asking. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I think combining my love for acting and my love for music, playing, singing, it's something that, I think that's what a lot of audiences want to see your actors, not just lip sync. They want to see you perform. They want to see you do it. And it's something I think I could pull off.
Yeah.
So
you got the voice, you got the look, you got the talent. So hey, let's get on it, man. Somebody make that movie right now. Call this man.
And the hue. Yes.
And that high yellow skin right there. There you go. So, hey,
maybe down here. Yeah, there we go. This little brown right there. That's the Withers right there.
Okay, so if you don't get the role, they can at least shoot you as a double from the neck down. So at least you got that going for you. Man, thank you so much. Oh, there it is. There it is.
Sunshine when she's gone.
Oh my God, he's here. Bill Withers is back.
Yeah.
At least his nipple is so. Hey man, thank you so much for the time. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you, Korey. This was fun. Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
And good luck with not that you need it, good, but congratulations and continue great fortune for you.
I'll take the luck too. I'll take all of it. Thank you.
Right. See you
later.
Pleasure. Man. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Thank you.
Oh, ain't no sunshine when he's gone. Actually, a lot of sunshine today. You probably saw the light coming through the window right here. Sorry if it was too bright, but he definitely lit up my day. That was Cedric, not Cedric, Cedric Yarbrough. Very talented guy, man, and such a pleasure to be around. So if you like that interview, there's a lot of people I've talked to who have been a pleasure to be around and have a conversation with. So if you like that, please check out our other interviews on our YouTube channel, Double Toasted Interviews. I don't push this as much as I should, but definitely a lot of great interviews here. A lot of great people I've talked to. A lot of actors, directors, animators, YouTube and internet personalities, and just overall great people. I always learn something from these interviews, and you will too. So check that out. Once again, Korey Coleman here. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to do this. Without you, I wouldn't be able to do this at all. And if there's anything else you want to tell me, if there's any kind of questions you have for me, get in touch with me anytime, any place. It's very easy to do. K Coolmans. Should probably turn that up. I always turn these things down, man. So that's what happens when you do all this stuff yourself, which is not a complaint. It's just sometimes you get mixed up what's turned up and what's turned down. But folks, thank you so much. Hey, before I go though, if you like what we do with these interviews, you'll love what we do with all of our other stuff. You know, we have a lot of reviews and a lot of streams and podcasts that we do. Just a lot of entertainment and pop culture talk with a very humorous twist to it. And might be coming to a city near you. Watch our other shows for details. Going to be in New York very soon. But until then, if you have anything for me, kcoolmans@gmail.com. That is KCOOLMANZ@gmail.com. Email us with any kind of questions, comments, compliments, insults, input, and/or advice. Hit us up on our social medias, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Got a TikTok out there. Don't know how long we'll have that. You know, talking about getting it out here because apparently TikTok is spying on us. TikTok is a spy for China. But while it lasts, we have that. Just type in Double Toasted. It'll take you where you need to go. Got a Patreon also. And if you find yourself here in Austin, Texas, let us know. kcoolmans@gmail.com. Let us know if you are moving here or if you're just passing through, because we will do our best to hang out with you if you let us know ahead of time. All right, everybody, that is it. Thank you so much for this once again. As I said, this would not be possible without you. So much gratitude to you. Thank you so much. Until then, though, good night, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you are listening to or watching this. Goodbye and stay toasty.